the reason why you keep failing and falling short of your goals and procrastinating on your goals is not necessarily because you lack discipline or you need to be harder on yourself. There's deeper reasoning within it that's leading you to do that. Because when you think about it, why would you want to self sabotage against yourself? If you set these goals to begin with, then you set them because you saw a better path for you. So you have to ask yourself, why am I actively stopping myself from pursuing the process that will lead me to these goals? And when you look at it as a more complex, but not so complex, but a more like step-by-step process of what causes you to procrastinate, what causes you to fail to even try, it becomes easier to tackle, and you realize that you're not a terrible person, number one, and there's nothing wrong with you. It's actually just human nature, and it's your own ego trying, failing by the way, but trying to protect you. And it's trying to protect you from the uncomfortable, from the unknown, from hurt. But what your ego doesn't realize, or what that part of you that tells you to just wait till tomorrow or do it later doesn't realize, is that there's so much growth, there's so much blessings and abundance that comes with that discomfort, with that hurt, that may or may not occur, by the way, because maybe sometimes it's just a smooth process for you. But a lot of the times it's not. It's going to bring discomfort, it's going to bring pain, it's going to bring sacrifice, and that's why it's a goal worth pursuing. And simply because not everyone can do it because of what I just mentioned. It's uncomfortable. But if you embrace that and you lean into it with the optimistic mindset, with hope, with faith, knowing that you just have to do your part and take those steps, then I don't think there's really a way you can fail. I mean, you could fail like on paper of, let's say your goal was to do 100 push-ups, which is one of the series that I'm sharing online with you guys right now. Let's say you only hit 50 push-ups. In that sense, you failed to reach 100 push-ups. But in hindsight of looking back a month from now, I don't think you would look at that as a failure, because you still got a net out of it. You did 50 push-ups versus the previous reality where you did none, or it wasn't in your routine as a goal to do it all. That's actual failure. You failed to even try. You failed to start and take the first step of action. But if you're attempting something new, something uncomfortable, something you put as a goal because it is a challenge, hence why you would make it a goal, because it will challenge you physically, mentally, spiritually, and beyond, then that's something not to run away from, but to run towards, to leap into with faith. That's why it's like a common saying, take a leap of faith. Yeah. You don't take a leap of faith into something guaranteed or something comfortable or something mediocre. You take a leap of faith into something you know is going to test you, something that might break you down, something that when you're done with it, you're going to question yourself. I remember when, not that long ago, when I tried doing just a couple push-ups, like I was trying to get back into it, over 300 pounds. It's not easy to push my own body weight. And I was maybe getting like 3, 4, 5 in, maybe 10, and I was super gassed. And then I would think about when I was like 100 pounds lighter, and I wasn't great at push-ups even when I was lighter, but I was definitely a lot more ahead in that regard. And it was at one point kind of like humbling, but I had a choice to look at it as something that like discouraged me, or told me to just quit, or something that kind of inspired me to be like, okay, like keep going. Like I'm 100 pounds heavier, and maybe when I was 100 pounds lighter, I was doing 4 times, 5 times more volume. But if I'm doing it now, if I'm putting in the work in now when I'm that much heavier, I know that when I get back down to that same weight I previously was when I was doing the 4 or 5 times push-ups I was doing, that I can do 10 times more. I can work towards that. I can build that goal. And I think something that's important that you need to stop doing, that I at myself catch myself doing, but the key word is catch, become aware of it and stop yourself from doing, is just judging yourself harshly for trying, for failing. Like, if you are trying, if you are failing, you're putting in effort. So you're basically criticizing yourself for putting in effort. Doesn't that sound stupid? If anything, you should be hard on yourself when you don't put any effort because you're scared to fail. That's when you need to be harder on yourself. But don't be hard on yourself because you wanted to do 50 push-ups and you only got 20 before you were passed out on the floor, unable to move a single body part. No, be happy that you made that step forward and that you actually gave it a shot. Because a lot of people don't even take the opportunity. They're too scared to see themselves not be the figment of imagination they picture themselves as. Because when you actually get onto that field and you actually put in those reps, you see yourself not for who you have pictured in your head, but who you really are. And a lot of the times it's not pretty to see that. Like when I step on the scale right now, it's like in my head I could be like, oh, it's not that bad. But then I step on the scale and I'm reminded this is the reality. I'm like 325 pounds. I gotta get my weight down. I'm currently BMI wise considered obese, and I'm definitely not in the shape that I want to be in. But I mean, I'm not going to get upset at myself for stepping on the scale. Maybe I'll get upset at myself for letting it get that far, and that will then lead to me taking the action to stop it from getting any worse and me gaining any more weight. But I'll be grateful, if anything, that I did step on that scale, because that's literally in the purest form taking the first step onto the scale to record where I am as a reminder of where I will never be, and where I'm headed is anywhere but that. But it all starts with taking that first step. And I feel like a lot of people are scared to take steps because when you take a step, you might sprain your ankle. Like physically or metaphorically, you might sprain your ankle, you might get hurt. It's gonna hurt you. It probably will. At one point or another, it definitely will. But that's how you grow. That's where growth occurs. It's a common thing that I mentioned it in a previous video, and it's a common saying that I say to myself often, especially when I'm pushing those reps or doing anything in life outside of physical exercise, even where I'm faced with adversities. Like I think to myself and I'm like, I could go through this or I could grow through this. So go through it is like I'm like a victim to my circumstance. Like this sucks, and I'm just gonna focus on the fact that this sucks and it's not fair. And like maybe I'm valid for thinking that, but it doesn't serve me in any way, shape, or form. So why would I think that? Whereas if you grow through it, you're admitting that like yeah, like this like kind of sucks. Like it's hard, but I'm harder. I can really I really got that beast mentality in me to go and persevere, to come out on top, to grow through it, hence coming out on top. Even if you fail in the moment, you might have failed in that certain instance, but it's really just it's like a common saying, failure is a stepping stone to success. So is it really a failure though if it led to your success ultimately in hindsight? I don't think so. It's just really a perspective shift. You got to change your mindset. And that's not something you even have to move to do. You don't have to go run 5 kilometers or do 50 push-ups or do anything to change your mindset. Physically, at least, you don't have to do anything. But mentally, you have to hit that switch. Mentally, you have to ask yourself these questions. Because if you truly want the best for yourself, that's the difference. You're going to fight against your own self, your own mind, to be uncomfortable, to step into the unknown, to take risks, to risk embarrassing yourself, to risk coming short of who you thought you were, to risk all of these things of who you thought in your head you are or could have been, just to realize in reality that you got a long way to go. But at least you went and took that first step. Because if you never step into the unknown, you procrastinate every single day away, that's something you'll regret. You're not going to regret trying and failing. You're not going to regret coming short of your goal. You're not even going to regret people criticizing you for that, or judging you, or friends and even family making fun of you or looking at it in a negative way, because that's a reflection of them. It's maybe it'll sting depending on how thick your skin is. It might sting, it might not. You might not care. You might care for a little bit, but in hindsight, I don't think you'll regret that, because your intention was to get better. And if anyone judges you or criticizes you for that, that's just a reflection of the type of like pathetic person that they are. Because if your focus is growth, then you're headed down the right direction. But if your focus is comfort, then I promise you, it's not a path worth pursuing. So use this video as a reminder to get uncomfortable, embrace the discomfort, and take the first step towards building a better you. It could be very simple. You could start it very slow. It doesn't happen all at once. It could literally start with just getting up right now, washing your face in cold water, Ashton Hall it, get a bowl if you want. Seriously though, like it's small steps. It's small steps. And I think when you build on that and you compound that progress, that's what a lot of people overlook, and they're like, "Oh, like, are you really telling me to just get up and wash my face? Get up and do my bed, get up, step outside, and step back inside?" Yes, I am. If you are used to not even going out and looking at sunlight in the morning, which is like vitamin D, you need that. Then yeah, like step outside. It might sound ridiculous to you, but you do it. Step outside, step back inside. If you're used to going outside, but you don't go for walks, you're not active at all, I'm telling you this this is something that I did. And even now on days where I don't feel like doing anything, like I'll tell myself in certain ways, like I'll be like, okay, I'm just gonna walk to the mailbox and back. Because I know that if I miss that part of my day, it's gonna affect me mentally. I'm gonna feel that laziness is gonna creep up on me in other ways, and I can't let that happen. And at times maybe it will happen, maybe you'll slip. But the point is that I'm aware of it, and I'm always in a mindset where I'm looking to improve, I'm looking to grow, and I'm looking to get better, at least in one way or another each and every day. So if you have that mindset, you take those steps no matter how big or small, and you're focused on growth, on not just someone who's a victim to their circumstances, someone who goes through things and like, my life sucks and now this, like, even just saying that sounds mediocre. My life sucks. Like, there's so much to be grateful for. But if you find that hard to find in your life right now, then at least one thing you can do is keep in mind to yourself that maybe this sucks. Maybe I can't even find a single thing in this that I should be grateful for. And trust me, there is a lot to be grateful for, especially in that grind. It's just a matter of awareness. But even if you can't see that, at least tell yourself that you're going to grow from this, that you're going to grow through it. And as you grow through it each and every time, I mean, it speaks for itself. You'll continue to grow. You'll continue to become the person of yourself that you know you can be, and actualize that higher potential that is within you. And that's where greatness starts. That's where greatness begins. It's not from ideal circumstances. It's not from naturally just being gifted and having the most talent. It comes from just being the type of person who just never quits. You add in skill, you add in talent, and then you got someone who's like a force to be reckoned with. But the consistent factor that is essential, regardless of how talented you are or not, is just having the will to persevere and to never quit, especially on yourself. Now, to be clear, just because it came up in my mind, sometimes quitting is the best choice. Like, you want to quit doing things that are terrible for you. You want to quit eating junk food. You want to quit doom scrolling for 3 hours a day. And taking a step forward might be eating one less bag of chips, or doing 2 hours a day of doom scrolling instead of 3. And, you might think like, oh, it's still doom scrolling, but trust me, that's progress. And our goal isn't to be perfect. Our goal is to make progress. So as long as you have that intent and you follow it through with action, then you'll come out a better you. And day by day, situation by situation, you'll look back and see yourself as someone who's developed into that person that you knew was within you. But it all starts with right now. Salam.